Hi everybody, my name is Jim and welcome back to another episode of The Lake Effect Gardener. Whew, scorcher today. Yikes. So it's about in the mid 80s and I think the humidity is about at 350%. It is swampy out today. And so, that's why I'm back in my tank top and my shorts and my sandals. I have to say I was at school today and it was unbearable. Ugh. The building was so hot and, we still have to mask in school. It was just blech. So I was happy to get home and to strip down and to get into something a little bit more comfortable. I have all the not the windows. I don't have any windows that open in here. I've got all the doors open here in the shed, so I've got a nice cross breeze. Speaking of the shed, I did manage to give the whole shed a really good clean as something to do. I know that you guys probably think that the shed looks, so organized and clean whenever you see my videos. However, by the magic of technology, all that stuff was pushed off to one side, literal piles of things on the table, and everything was off the shot from the camera. So the shed doesn't stay clean, and especially when I'm planting things in. Especially when I'm doing it, after school and everything, where it's just a matter of I just kind of toss everything in here at the end of the night so that I can get inside and shower and get ready to go to bed. But anyways, I got everything cleaned up, so I'm feeling a lot better about that. But this isn't about the shed. This is a lot of random things going on in this video. We could call it an update, I guess. But a large part of this is going to be showing you what's going on over on the patio. Okay, it's part of the channel. I don't really show you what's going on in the patio a whole heck of a lot, only because, besides flowers, I don't really grow anything over there in the way of, food and whatnot. So we're going to go over there. I just want to show you a couple of things that are going on there. My rose shrub, which is looking absolutely incredible. A couple of other shrubs that look absolutely miserable, but are on their way back. A couple of other little things that were given to me, which is lovely. And from there, what we'll do is I'm going to show you a couple of things that I built. Yay, very excited about that. I'm going to give you a quick update on my tomato situation. Okay, those who have been following this channel, if you saw my May tour and I showed you my tomato bed, you may have been thinking to yourself, wait a minute, something's not right here. So I'll talk about that in a minute. And then from there, what we'll do is we're going to go into the polytunnel, and I just want to show you what's going to be happening in there. Now the polytunnel, so I've had this polytunnel, right? This is the second polytunnel that I've had. The first one, obviously, you guys remember what happened to it, okay? This year, the polytunnel is finally going to get planted in, okay? Last year's polytunnel, I just had plastic down and I was growing inside with the bags and stuff like that. So was it truly up and running? Not really. But this year, I am hell-bent on getting that tunnel finished, like finished, up and running. So I'm going to show you what's going on in there. So like I said, this is a complete mishmash. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but they're just little things that are happening, off the camera. That's not all my veg in the garden, not all my flower borders and stuff like that. So be interesting anyhow. So let's go over to the patio and let's talk about what's going on over there. So one of the jobs that I need to get done that I have to do every single year is I give my whole wooden deck a stain. Okay, and I bought this huge Mamacita on closeout. I think it was the wrong color or something. Someone took it back. It was originally $130 for a 5-gallon bucket of this stain, and I got it for like 30 bucks. So you can see the difference. This is what it looks like beforehand. So that's after a whole season. And then I just stained this upper tier here. So I'm going to get on with that and doing that. I need to get this done because I need it to dry. Another thing that I have out here are little tree seedlings. Now these were gifted to me. I don't know if you guys recall my friend Jessica, who had given me all of that gazebo, okay, that fell down. I turned it into the pergola. Well, she also had extra seedlings that she got through like the Arbor Day Foundation or one of those, and so she dropped these off for me. She asked me if I wanted some, and I was like, heck yeah. So what do I have here? This is a Washington hawthorn right here. This is it says Rutgers. That's probably not a tomato. What do we got here? Oh, this is a redbud, and so is this. All right, and then this is a dogwood. All right, and this purple one is a crabapple. And then the last one that I have over here, this white one, is also a dogwood. No, wait a minute, I have a hawthorn in here. That was the first one I showed you. Okay, yes. So I'm just gonna keep them over here. This whole area, this table, is a total junk pit right now, and I understand that. Very much in transition, but this is going to be, if you recall, I don't know if you saw my opening credits, how this is a huge table that has an umbrella that goes through it. Well, I decided to put the table up here. It's partly shaded, and this is where I'm going to put all of my cuttings and all of the, different seedlings that I'm growing on, shrub-wise, tree-wise. I'm gonna make this the kind of the nursery for it. It's partially shaded. It's gonna help with these little, these little trees and shrubs to kind of get established. So that's what I'm using this for. Every single year I also bring out my ficus tree, and this was given to me by my brother, and it's lovely. You can see how terribly sparse it is though leaf-wise, because there is a lot of leaf drop that happens during the winter because I bring this in. But usually by the end of the summer it is completely festooned in green. It looks gorgeous and lush, only to go back into the house for the cold, miserable winter and all the leaves come off of it. So yeah, I need to get onto this. Let's go over and take a look at the rose bush. So here is the rose shrub. I don't remember if you guys saw the video a long while back. I can't remember if I did, but I will link it to this video anyhow. This is the one where I took the long cane and I tied it in to produce more blooms. Well, this is, I believe, the 3rd or 4th year that I've had this shrub, and it has just gone wild. And I did post a picture of this on Facebook and Instagram, and I couldn't remember what variety it was because I had bought it as a closeout and it was like next to death. Anyways, so oddly enough, the lovely Robin, who sent me all those lovely, gorgeous things, had mentioned, she asked me if the variety was called Apothecary, and I, in the back of my mind, knew that I kept the tag somewhere, and so I went digging and I found it. Yes, this variety is called Apothecary, and it is just completely covered in blooms. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous blooms. So that, tying up the long vines do produce abundance of flowers. And can I just say that the scent, I've never known this shrub to have scent. It's never flowered this much for me, but sorry, I keep getting into the shadows here. But this year, the scent is just prolific. It really is. The variety is called Apothecary. And Robin's like, is that the name of it? And I thought, I'm like, I don't know, but I really like the name of that, so we'll go with that. Well, luckily I found the tag. So, gorgeous. Now, this only blooms once, so I have to really, really enjoy what I have so far. There are plenty more to be had So hopefully this will keep going for at least another week. Next to my rose shrub slash, I don't know, display, I have on either side of the garage door 2 arrowwood viburnum shrubs that I bought from, they were very, very little when I bought them, okay? Very, very small, and they've grown really, really tall, and I've kind of trained them to create kind of this archway effect. This is the side door to the garage. Well, I don't know if you can see. Let's go over here and show you here. Yes, lots of dead leaves on here. This tree, both of these shrubs, they're shrubs, were attacked by the viburnum leaf beetle, okay? And not the actual adult beetle, but the worms, okay, the larvae. And there were hundreds of them, and they literally took this bush down, all the foliage, in a matter of 3 days, give or take. Which makes me upset because this does have a lovely floral display, albeit the flowers smell disgusting. They smell like dead fish, but never mind. The pollinators love them, and that's why I love them. So, boom, gone. And I just didn't get to it soon enough. It was one of those, you know, I was in school, I come home, it was raining, or something like that. So, good news is, there is a lot of new growth. Okay, can you see that? I'm gonna get some in the daylight here. Let's go over here to this side. Okay, which is great. However, for those people who have problems with the viburnum leaf beetle, I did a little bit of reading up on it, and the larvae, they come up, well, first of all, their eggs are hatched along the stem. Now, I don't know where that happened, okay? I didn't see anything strange, but apparently they were there. So they lay their eggs on the stem, then they hatch, and then they feast for like 3 days, decimate it, and then what happens is the larvae will then crawl down the branches and into the ground around the roots, okay, where they hibernate for a good month. And that's when they go through their, you know, their metamorphosis into their adult, you know, beetle form. Apparently then, what happens is they emerge and they come up and they will feast on the second flush of leaves. Well, do you think I'm gonna let those little vicious vermin have a munch on the second round of leaves? I think not. So I'm going to be getting some neem oil, possibly some diatomaceous earth. I'm gonna dust the bajiggers out of these shrubs because I mean, these have been growing for a while. They've gotten really tall. They're quite beautiful when they're filled in. I mean, I just don't like the way that, I feel like it's a bit naked. Usually this is completely filled with gorgeous foliage, and it looks so sparse and sad amidst the rest of the patio. So anyways, I'm going to take measures to get rid of them. So it's always a good thing, friends, that you know what varieties of plants that you grow, because unfortunately there might be a pest that likes to munch on it. And unless you know who your enemy is, you have a harder time defeating it. So yes, I will be taking action on these little brats, and hopefully this shrub will come back, in full gorgeous foliage, so I can enjoy it for years to come. It does need a bit of a chop back though. Oh, here's my shadow. Hi, sorry. Another thing I never showed you guys were in these planters I have on the patio. And if you notice, I've got these seed trays over top of them because the squirrels started digging them up. And these are going to be all gladiolas. Okay, so I've got a bunch in here. Sorry about the shadow. And then I've got some more in here. And this was just there as a preventative to keep those little critters from scratching about. So I'll leave them on until they get a little bit taller, and then I'm going to pull those off. And then I actually did a few more over here. And this is the concrete planter that I originally was gonna have where the obelisk was originally, and then I decided to put the bird bath there. So I've got some more growing in here, and they're all coming up. This one I don't have covered, and look, big old hole. Incredible. And I want to show you that I finally got these little homemade fences put up to keep the bunnies out. So therefore I don't have to worry about them getting in, and I can get in and out without having to, you know, hurdle myself over them. So I used the same chicken wire. Oops. I used the same chicken wire that was here, and then I built the frames using the wood that my friend Denise gave to me out of her dumpster. So they're nice and lightweight, and they do the job. And then of course, you know, I had some hinges lying around, as people have hinges lying around. So I used the hinges on that, so works really, really well. So far, so good. I did that one, and then let's go this way. I also did one at this entrance here. So that's great. It really does the trick. This is great. I don't have to go all the way around the garden through the garage in order to get inside if I'm using, you know, grass clippings and whatnot. So yes, I'm very, very happy. I don't want to give you too much of the garden because I want you to wait until we get to the June tour for you to see everything. However, there's one thing I do want to point out. And that is, if you're on my Facebook and Instagram page, you'll know that my corn is starting to emerge. Okay. And I did 2 sowings per station per row. So far so good. Things are looking really good. This needs a water desperately. Here is my blue Hubbard. Oh, I'm just gonna get out of the... It's a problem with filming later in the day. So this is my... No, that's not it. This one is my blue Hubbard. And I told you that I planted a few more seedlings next to it. They have come up. Same with the golden Hubbard. Okay, seedling has come up. Very happy about that. And then the Uchiki curry. And those have also come up. So yay, I'm glad that they germinated. I was worried that I wasn't going to get enough plants. Speaking of germinating and not getting enough plants, a lot of my sown sunflowers have popped up, okay? But a lot of them have been nibbled. The tops have been nibbled right off. I'm supposed to have 3 rows of different varieties, and every single one of the seeds seems like they've come up only to be nibbled by something. So I think I might just have 6 decent sunflowers this year. I'm gonna try another sowing. I'm not sure how many seeds I have left, but we'll give it the old go. And if nothing comes of it, I can stick something else in here. I could put some more lettuce or maybe a couple more brassicas. I've got a lot of stuff that I could, you know, put in here. So we'll see. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Okay, so we're gonna go in the greenhouse. I want to show you what I've got going on here. Now, I don't know if any of you were paying really, really close attention to my May tour, but as I went over the tomatoes that I was going to be growing, everything that I had mentioned that was in the tomato bed, okay, was not on my original plan. That is because I've had a real time getting these tomatoes that I normally grow, okay, to germinate. Well, they are just coming to. Now, I don't know, it has to do with the soil that I used, perhaps because I do use spent compost, so taking mental note, that could be a problem. Okay, I might have to use really good potting compost in order to do that, something with nutrients. They are coming to now, okay? So I've got all of these tomato seedlings that I'm going to pot on. I got some good potting compost. I'm going to get them potted on and see how many will take. Okay, so I've got my Rutgers and my Homestead and my Delicious, and over here, it's around the Steakhouse, San Marzano, Consoluto, My sweetie, my favorite types, the sweetie, the little tiny sweet ones. Okay, Arkansas Traveler, beefsteak. I'm gonna see how many I can save because all of these are gonna be going, well, not all of them. I don't know if I'll be able to fit them. I want to, but a lot of these are gonna go into the tunnel, okay? Along with those, I'm gonna get these out. Okay, this is long overdue, but here we have a group, and I showed you this in the May tour as well. This is, I believe it's the Porter variety of tomatoes that I grew last year, okay? Volunteer, a whole clump of them. So I'm gonna have these out, pop them on, and then these will also go in the tunnel, okay? But speaking of tunnel, we need to go there. We need to address this. So follow me. All right. You can see that there is something brand new in here. Look at these nice little pallets. Now these came from my coworker Denise. These were in her dumpster. Okay, if you recall, if you had watched my May tour, I showed you these. Denise and her husband, they brought these over, and it just so happens that these happen to be the same width as both the doorways. So I didn't have to do anything to these, okay? And they create this really great wooden path. And this is gonna be really handy, especially when we have soaking rains in the spring and I have problems with the drainage in here. It's great. I have my own little deck, which is great. It's my own little boardwalk. But anyways, I'm definitely going to create a raised bed, okay? So I'm gonna put a border along this side and along this side, and then I'm just gonna have to fill all of this with compost. You can see I've got the cardboard down already. I might put another layer of cardboard down before I actually get my compost in, but that just seems to me to be the best option right now to get this up and running. So I know it's not the cheapest, but I mean, I feel as though when it comes to infrastructure, I want to kind of do it right from the outset, and then next year when I come in here, you know, I'll be able to dig if I need to. You know, everything will be up, and all the weeds that are underneath the cardboard will have time to have broken down, and the cardboard itself too will have time to break down, and then I'll be able to really just get in here and dig. Okay, let me just say that it's probably pure laziness and I'm doing that, but you know, honestly, it's just, like I said, I want to get stuff on the ground in here. Like you wouldn't believe, I've got this grapevine that's absolutely going nuts. Okay, this needs to get in the ground. I have a few more of those Minnesota, no, not the Minnesota, the sugar baby watermelons that I want to get in here, etc., etc., etc. So that's the plan for the tunnel, guys, and that's definitely going to be, I don't know if I'm going to make a video about it. I might show you once I have the infrastructure in. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we can maybe do a planting in video, because you guys really didn't get a chance to see me plant in at all, except for brassicas and some random broad beans, you know. All right, let's go back to the shed. That was just random. Everything was random. But it's something. You get to see parts of my garden space that you really haven't really spent a lot of time seeing before, which is good. It's something new. So yes, lots of stuff going on. Like I said, I might, hopefully, if I can get into the tunnel and get things situated there in the way of infrastructure, I'll be able to plant in for that. That could possibly be the next video. But beyond that, I really don't have anything on the back of my mind, except for the fact that I've got 2 weeks left of school. Okay. Yay! It's hard as a teacher to be, you know, of course I'm going to miss my kids and my colleagues and things like that, but I love summer vacation. I love it. So I'm really looking forward to being able to slow down and to be able to take my time out in the garden and start earlier and do things, do lots of little small things every single day instead of, and not feel rushed doing it. So yay for summer vacation. I'm also going to hopefully come out with a new Make Do Monday pretty soon. Like I said, I'm probably, even though I'm going to have 10 weeks off from school, hopefully I'm not going to be doing a Make Do every single week. There's you know, I'm still trying to build the content. I've got maybe 3 or 4 videos that I've got up here that I'm going to be doing, but I want the series to kind of be a longer series, so bi-weekly will be fine. It'll give me time to think and prepare and things like that. It'll also give me time to spend a little bit more time in the garden, which I've been craving like you wouldn't believe. So hip, hip, hooray. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying nice and cool and hydrated. It's so funny to think that a few months ago I was saying, I hope you guys are staying warm. But yeah, I guess that's it for today. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Most of my videos are not this erratic, but if you'd like to, you know, take a look at what I have going on, perhaps take a look at the video from last time, which was the May tour, to kind of get you guys caught up. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you decide that you would like to subscribe. And if you do, you know the drill. Hit the notification bell, thumbs up, and don't be shy to leave your comments. I'll see you all really, really soon. And yay for summer weather. It's finally here. Lots of beach time is in my future. So long.